Fast food chains are always coming out with new items. Sometimes they're a limited time, and other times they're meant to be part of the everyday menu. There have been some really creative ideas, and some that have become huge hits. Other times, they're major failures. Today, we'll look at some of the failed ideas that actually made it into the popular fast food restaurant chains. In the mid-1980s, McDonald's started selling pizza called the McPizza. McDonald's had been so successful at selling other items like burgers and fries that they decided to start selling pizza. If you ordered it in the restaurant and planned to eat it there, it worked out just fine. The pizza was family-sized, and it would be brought out to the table you were sitting at and placed on a raised rack in the center. Unfortunately, there were problems. The pizza wasn't bad, but it didn't really fit in with a fast food restaurant. If you ordered the pizza in the drive-thru, it would take at least 10 minutes and could slow everything down. Plus, the pizza box did not fit through the drive-thru window because it was too big. The pizza was later changed to a personal size instead of the family size, but it still didn't sell that much.
Only 99 cents, this is a great offer. Didn't know I'd do magic, did you?
Many locations dropped the pizza, and over the years there were fewer and fewer still selling it. Eventually, they almost completely disappeared. There still is a location in Orlando, Florida that sells the pizza though. The next item is another time that McDonald's tried selling Italian food. Before the McPizza in the early 1970s, McDonald's put spaghetti on the menu. This seems really weird, and it doesn't really fit with the typical McDonald's menu either. The spaghetti had pasta, marinara sauce, meatballs, and cheese. Nevertheless, they decided to do it, but it didn't last long. By the 1980s, McDonald's discontinued it from the menu. Spaghetti in a McDonald's box does not seem ideal, and when most people go to McDonald's, they don't want pasta. However, in the Philippines, it was successful and is still available to this day. You can also get it in Italy and in Orlando, Florida as well. Moving on to Burger King, a lot of people remember the famous Halloween Whopper. This was always meant to be a limited time thing, and it was released in October of 2015. Just looking at the burger, it does not look very appealing. The bun is a black color, but aside from that, it's mostly just a normal Whopper. It does have A1 steak sauce in it though. The bun was also said to have A1 steak sauce baked into it for flavor. Unfortunately, the black bun was just too unappetizing for most people, and they did not want to get it. Another failed Burger King item was the Saddest Fries. These came out in 2013 and were French fries except with 40% less fat and 30% fewer calories than the normal French fries that Burger King sold. It made them a healthier French fry option. People didn't want them though. They wanted the normal French fries and would order those instead. The fries seemed to kind of be the opposite of their name. People were left unsatisfied with them and highly preferred the normal French fries over the Saddest Fries. The Saddest Fries also costed more than the regular ones. It didn't take long for many Burger King locations to stop selling them, and soon they were gone. What it was next is the Big Catch at Long John Silver's, and this meal came out in 2013 at the popular seafood chain. What it was is fried haddock, fried hush puppies, and onion rings. The meal was criticized for how unhealthy it was. It came out to 1,320 calories in total and had 33 grams of artificial fat. It also had a very high amount of sodium. In fact, it was named the worst meal in America. That was enough to have it discontinued at the end of the year. Overall, people thought that this meal was just too big and unhealthy, with everything being fried. Another big meal was the enormous Omelette Sandwich at Burger King. This was a breakfast sandwich launched in 2005. It was a 2-egg omelet, 2 slices of American cheese, 3 strips of bacon, and a sausage patty, all in a hoagie-style bun. The entire sandwich was 730 calories, which is not really that high, but it was high in cholesterol and sodium. Many people felt that for a breakfast sandwich, this was just too big. For other popular breakfast items at fast food chains, such as the Egg McMuffin at McDonald's, they're much smaller and have about half the calories. The sandwich actually started off well, and it looked like it might be a success. Unfortunately for Burger King, that faded, and the sandwich was eventually discontinued. In 2006, Wendy's started selling the Frascaccia Sandwiches. These were cold, deli-style sandwiches that had sliced meats and things like tomatoes, onions, and lettuce on them. It seemed like a pretty good idea, because this wasn't really a thing at other fast food drive-thru chains. Plus, it seemed like a fresher and healthier option than getting fried food. They could also compete with sub-restaurants like Subway or Jimmy John's. When they came out though, sales were not very good. Unlike Subway, these sandwiches could not be completely customized. They also took much longer to assemble than the other items on the Wendy's menu. When people wanted that type of a sandwich, they typically didn't think to go to Wendy's. The Frascaccia Sandwiches lasted for almost 2 years, but by the end of 2007, were discontinued. Dairy Queen also tried a healthier option called the Dairy Queen Breeze. This was introduced in 1990, and the idea was that it was a blizzard with frozen yogurt instead of ice cream. The problem was that nobody bought them, and they soon had to be discontinued. People just didn't want to get the frozen yogurt from Dairy Queen. The Blizzard is probably their most popular item on the menu, and the Breeze items could not compete with them. This item could have possibly been successful at a different type of restaurant, like a frozen yogurt place, but not at a Dairy Queen. In 1963, McDonald's introduced something called the Hula Burger. This was a meatless burger, and the replacement for the meat patty was a slice of grilled pineapple. They also put cheese on this, and it was all inside of a bun, just like a regular burger would be. It was designed to compete with the Filet-O-Fish sandwich, and it lost big time. I'm not really surprised to hear that. It was quickly discontinued. This burger just seems crazy all around, and doesn't seem like a food combination that would work. I guess anybody could recreate this if they really wanted to see what it would have been like, but I don't think many people will want to try that. Finally, the Pizza Hut Priazzo. This item came out in 1985, but was not a pizza. It had 2 layers of dough, many toppings that could be found in regular pizza, and lots of cheese. It was called a pie instead of a pizza, and at first it was actually successful, and many people wanted to try it and see what it was. The Priazzo had some problems though. It was only available after 4 p.m. or on weekends. The toppings on it were also not customizable. Still, it did well for the first year, but then struggled. Most people went back to wanting just pizza from Pizza Hut and not the Priazzo. By 1991, Pizza Hut stopped carrying it. Looking back at all of these fast food items, personally, I think the worst one is the Hula Burger. It just seems really weird, and pineapple does not seem like a good substitute for meat. The one that I would want to try the most would be the Mick Pizza. I think it probably tastes pretty good, and the reason it failed was because it just didn't fit with McDonald's style. Let me know in the comments which ones you think were best and worst. Maybe some could have even been successful with small changes.
Saddest Fries. Delicious new fries with 40% less fat, 30% less calories.
In Italy, they discovered long ago that to make the perfect Italian pie, you must start with the perfect recipe.
That's all for today's video. We'll see you next time.